This is Jamey with Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in the new Unlock series themed with Star Wars. Star Wars Unlocked. Or not Unlocked, Unlock. Star Wars is one of my favorite IPs, and Unlock is a great escape room game. And we played the tutorial and the first mission over the recent holiday. And I had a great time with it, especially given the Star Wars theme and the comparison to one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I guess I shouldn't give that away early on, but I should say I'm going to mention one mechanism here that has no spoilers, and then I will go into some spoilers because it's tough to talk about this without giving away any spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything about this and you want to keep just buy it and play it, feel free to do so. If you want to learn from it as a designer but don't necessarily want to play it, feel free to keep watching here. So the first mechanism is that one of the key things in Unlock is that I'll just show you the rulebook here so I don't have to spoil it, but you are pairing together cards. Here's the rulebook explanation of that. So you're pairing together cards. Some cards have red icons on them, some have blue. Sometimes they're at the top right of the card, sometimes it's built into the art itself where you see this icon. And when you see something when you have like an item, say a blaster, a gun, you try to look for other, and say that's a red icon, a red puzzle piece. You are then looking for blue puzzle pieces where it makes sense to pair that blaster or do something with that blaster with the blue puzzle piece. So for example, if you encounter an Ewok while you're on this mission, maybe the Ewok has a blue puzzle piece, your blaster has a red puzzle piece, but you probably don't want to shoot the Ewok. And if you do, say you do pair those two together, you add those card numbers together, and then you look through the pile of cards here to get to see what number results. And if it's something that you were supposed to do, you'll get a card that makes sense, a card that has those numbers added together and makes sense for you to proceed in the mission. But sometimes you'll get a card if you add together those numbers. Like in this case, you probably wouldn't want to shoot the Ewok. You would get a card that says, hey, no, we don't shoot Ewoks here. This doesn't help you in this mission. You made a mistake, and that might hurt you in this mission because they are timed escape room missions. I'm going to get into spoiler territory here because I'll show you a quick example of this on some cards. But so feel free, if you don't want any spoilers, to stop watching here. But an example here is that we had a damaged snow speeder early on, and you can see this is card 16. It's a blue puzzle piece. And then we got this card. We got to this to the Echo Base Hangar Bay. Let me see if I can get this in focus or out of focus. I can't get it out of focus. But you can see there are different puzzle pieces down here, and you see Chewbacca fixing a snowspeeder down there. So we thought, okay, we have this damaged snowspeeder. We see Chewbacca fixing snowspeeders. Let's pair our damaged one with that number. And sure enough, Chewbacca helped to fix our snowspeeders. That is an early spoiler in the mission. It actually doesn't spoil all that much, but that's an example of that. I think that's a really cool mechanism. A couple other things, and these are definitely spoilers. One of the things that this mission had us do was look at the discarded cards. So usually in Unlock, when you combine together certain cards, like in that example I just gave, the card that you get as a result will probably say discard those cards that you just used because you don't need them anymore, which is very helpful because you can have an overwhelming number of cards in this game. However, for the first time in Unlock game that I've done, the game said, at a certain point, it said, hey, you need to go back and look through all those cards you discarded for a hidden icon, and you have to find it on a certain number of cards. And I thought that was really cool, that it was something that we could have been looking for the whole time if we had thought about it. Maybe there was even an early clue that we should have looked at it. But we got to revisit those cards through something that we could have already started to notice. And it would have been cool to start to notice that while we were originally looking at those cards, but we didn't think to do that. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I thought this mission did a great job using the app. Typically in Unlock, the app has you kind of just type in numbers from time to time. Sometimes there are spatial puzzles that you need to unlock. But there were two things that happened in this mission that I thought were really clever. One was there was a snowspeeder covered in ice, and we had to wipe the ice off the snowspeeder. And we actually had to do this on the app itself. The app brought up a picture of what we were seeing, and we had to move our finger on the iPad that we were using on the tablet and to move away the ice. So we were physically actually scraping ice off a window. That was really cool. There was one other one that I thought was really neat where we were just kind of scanning the horizon for a droid, and we actually picked up the tablet and moved it around, and it showed in 360 directions what we were seeing. And at some point, we spotted the droid and kind of targeted in on it on the app itself, and the app then said, okay, pick up this card and move forward. So I thought those were really clever uses of the app beyond just using it as a mechanical device for determining numbers in simple puzzles. So yeah, those are my favorite mechanisms in the first mission of the Star Wars Unlock game. If you want to add anything in the comments, maybe you can use spoilers from this unlock or any other unlock that you've played about maybe some of your favorite escape room game mechanisms. Just please tag them with spoilers so people can know if they want to read them or not. I'd love to learn from them as a designer, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the mechanisms I described in this video as well. Thanks.